Welcome to the commentary for episode 10 of Flash, Running Scared Part 1. Now the name of this episode comes from the Rebirth Flash comic Volume 4. A lot of my Season 1 has been based off those issues from Thawne revealing Barry's identity to Iris after beating him up, all the way to Thawne's origin. Then in this episode, the threat of Barry almost killing Thawne, and Reverse Flash beating Kid Flash almost to death. I used the same set when filming the prison scene for Bloodworks Return special. I tried to include every villain from my Flash series so far, except for James Jesse. Nick's pet is a reference to Legend of Tomorrow, where he has a rat. I couldn't get the voice actor for Rainbow Raider again, so I voiced him myself this time. One of the main reasons there is even a scene between Daryl and Barry in this episode is to make the connection between Barry and Daryl stronger before, spoiler alert, Daryl dies. Danielle Lincoln, the fake name Caitlin uses, is a reference to Danielle Panabaker, the actress who plays Caitlin on the CW Flash, and Louise Lincoln, another Killer Frost from the comics. When Top texts Cisco, the digits for a number is a Missouri area code, where Central City takes place in the comics. Then 0081961, that's supposed to mean August of 1961, the first appearance of the Top. When Barry checks for Speed Force residue, it's sort of something I made up. In the comics, some speedsters can sense other ones, so I thought there would be a cool way to show it and add on to that idea. Barry makes a reference to back to episode 4 when Iris leaves Barry to interview the Elongated Man. This motel room was made with walls on every side that I could take down, and every time the camera angle switched, it rotated to the next wall. So this room is constantly spinning like a top. For the text to Barry, his phone number is another Missouri area code and 0081956, which is August of 1956, the first appearance of Barry Allen. For the text he sends, it also references Chilblain's death in the short stop motion I did about him. Now for the original plan for the episode. There were quite a few altercations. Let's start off with the first idea for the episode, way before I even began my series. It was going to be Flash versus Reverse Flash. The fight ends with Barry and Wally being beaten in a warehouse where Caitlin would have been kidnapped. Cisco would show up but fail when Thawne makes Caitlin turn into Killer Frost. The cliffhanger was going to be all three of them trapped in a cage while Frost is about to kill them. Next idea after I scrapped that one, the episode begins with Barry figuring out Thawne is Reverse Flash on his own. The fight would happen the same, just without Wally. Then he and Kid Flash would fight Peekaboo, but he would lose because Barry would not be able to control his anger. Another idea was the same as the episode you all saw, except when Elongated Man, Kid Flash, and Flash beat Peekaboo, Killer Frost and Thawne instantly attacked the group. The end would play out the same, with Thawne and Barry, but Kid Flash would have fought Killer Frost. As you can tell, this episode is a two-parter. It wasn't always that way. So when I had to make it one, a lot of the Killer Frost material was moved to the second part. All scenes at Barry's lab were filmed at the same time, so all the way from remastered episode 1 to one scene in season 2 episode 1. Now all the fight scenes between Barry and Thawne were stretched out for 7 months, filming wise. Almost every area they fight in is used in another episode. For example, when they leave the lab, they go to a place where the Trickster Part 3 flashback happened. 2 other ones are set from Bloodworks Return special. A lot of the fight scene was done with no planning. In the actual script, from leaving Barry's lab to the airport battle, there were a few lines of dialogue and 2 descriptions of action that I stretched out for over a minute. Like the whole thing with the tidal wave is not even mentioned in the script. I just included it since I wanted more cool action scenes. The music in these fight scenes switches back and forth between the Reverse Flash theme and the Flash theme constantly, almost like the music itself is battling just like the characters. Funny enough, the last scene of the episode was filmed last. It usually doesn't end up that way with me, except for this one. Instead of I Won't Back Down playing, there were 2 songs considered, That's Life by Frank Sinatra and Vienna by Billy Joel. The final script began to be written back in May of 2020, which included a lot of what Part 2 includes. Hope you enjoy this commentary for Flash Episode 10, and until next time, see you later.